Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. In whatever space, whatever time you are joining me for class today, welcome. I have words, I swear, I just forget where they go sometimes. To be honest with you, today I have a general idea for class because I feel this morning here in Montana, where I'm joining you from, that I just need to move and I need to build up some heat in my body. I've been feeling a little sticky in my joints and stagnant, and just kind of that overall sense of blah. And normally, when that happens for me, I need to move. It's just the way that I am. So today's class is going to be a little bit more of maybe an intermediate power type flow. Expect maybe to have the opportunity to practice an arm balance, expect standing balance poses for sure, and do what you can. Even if you hear the word intermediate and you think, I'm not an intermediate practitioner, so what? Do what you can, explore something different. And if I might invite you to allow that to be the intention for your class today, is whether or not you feel or judge yourself to be intermediate or a beginner or advanced or whatever, let that all go out the door and just do what you can. And allow yourself to laugh at the challenge, to find joy, possibly even bliss. If you fall, smile and try again. It's been a theme being here with a family of more or less perfectionists like myself, and I get to see how I am reflected back to me. And often when I try something for the first time and I am not perfect at it, I get frustrated, I shake my head at myself, I make those big sighs of this isn't fun because I'm not perfect at it the first time. And it's actually been wonderful to have such a huge mirror into what that looks like and how much we limit our ability to experience life because we want things to be perfect. And by we, I mean me and other people who are perfectionists out there. So with all that, my little satya, my truth being shared with you, please make your way to a seat facing the front of your mat. I'm going to start off sitting on my knees. And notice if you're already wondering, maybe I shouldn't do this. I'm not in the mood for something so sweaty today. That's okay. Maybe again, go as far as you would like and then stop and move in a way that feels good for you. Or maybe you can visit one of the other recordings that I have up on the website for something a little more gentle or that suits what you actually need today. But this is where I'm at today. So once you find your comfortable seat, place your hands somewhere on your thighs, close your eyes. Begin to take some deep breaths in and out of your nose. Make them longer, make them smoother without force. Take a moment and scan your body from head to toe. Just acknowledging without judgment the parts that maybe feel more open and spacious, and maybe the parts that feel a little more sticky, congested, intense. And as we move and breathe together today, again, allow your intention to be to lean into the challenge, to allow an imperfect process to occur, as it always does, and to find joy, maybe even whimsy or bliss in the process of imperfection. Slowly lift your hands away from where they're meeting your legs. Notice the coolness there as you do. Bring your palms to meet at your heart center. Notice the warmth as the skin of your palms and fingertips connect. Draw the base of your thumbs into your heart and lift your heart into the base of your thumbs. Gently bow your head towards your heart in this gesture of gratitude and humility. My favorite way to begin. To acknowledge the inevitable imperfection that we face in our human experience. It is indeed humbling and indeed something to be grateful for. Release your hands, lift your chin, open your eyes. Reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart. We're just gonna start to warm up our shoulder blades. Inhale, reach up. This is quite familiar if you know me. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart. Allow the shoulder blades to roll around the back. One more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, lift your upper back away from the low back as you reach your elbows away from one another. Release. Come to hands and knees, all fours. Walk your knees back so that they're underneath your hip bones. Plant your palms so that they're underneath your armpits. And for weight bearing here, we're going to warm up our wrists, but I want you to really pay attention to how your hands are planted. So the wrist crease is parallel to the front edge of the mat, or maybe even slightly turned out so that your pointer fingers are pointing mostly forward. Okay. We're going to simply start to circle our shoulders around our wrists as though the wrists were the center of a clock. You're going to feel some pressure throughout your wrists. It's wonderful. It's okay. The joints are meant to move in all directions. Some directions less than others. But just start to explore and feel where the pressure is. Press down through the finger pads, not the fingertips. Oftentimes we hear claw the mat. And I think that's a little bit confusing. So instead, press down into your finger pads, not your fingertips. Okay. Let's come to stillness. Turn your fingers out and your thumbs to face forward. You might keep the inner edges of your wrists in line with your armpits or walk them maybe slightly closer or to touch. You can walk your knees back here. And we're going to start by shifting side to side. No matter where your hands are planted, shoulders are moving past your wrists right to left. And then you can start to incorporate those big circles again. Notice how much space you have to come back towards the pinky edge side of your wrists and how little space is comfortable to come forward. Okay? Just become aware of the natural limitations of the body, and it's there for a reason. Reverse the direction of your circles or change up your movement in any way. And come back to center. Pause. Now, flip your palms to face the sky. Backs of the hands all the way to the wrists are connecting. So we're not on the backs of just our fingers. The entire backs of our hands come to rest on the mat, palms flip up. So it might be a struggle here for you to just try to straighten the elbows, or that might be the challenge. Stay with that. Sometimes it helps to walk the knees forward a little bit as well. And here, begin to work towards pressing the elbows straight-ish. Enjoy the sensations across the backs of your wrists and up your forearms, probably. You can stay here, or I encourage you to try squeezing your hands and making a tight fist. Inhale, spread the fingers wide. Exhale, make tight fists. You might lift up your feet and roll out the ankles. Inhale, spread the fingers wide. Exhale, tight fists. Inhale, spread the fingers wide. Good. If the feet are lifted, plant the toes. Pick up your right wrist, make a tight fist. Set it down so the inner wrist crease faces the top of the mat. Fingers face your knee, thumb faces out. Same thing with the left hand. Tight fist, fingers face back, thumb out. Inner wrist face forward. You can walk your knees back slightly if you would like. And here we're going to find a few cat-cows. So inhale, cow pose. Lift the crown of the head and the tail to the sky. as you drag your heart through your upper arm bone. Exhale to round cat pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. Inhale to cow. If the toes aren't tucked under, tuck them under now. And send your hips towards your heels any amount as the heels of the hands lift. Exhale, shift forward, cat pose. Inhale into cow, shift your hips to your heels, heels of hands lift. Enjoy the sensations in your forearms. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow, shift back, last one. Exhale, cat. Good, pick up your right hand, make a tight fist, set it back down, same with left, pick it up, tight fist, set it down. Walk your knees back slightly. Send your right toes back behind you for gate pose. Left toes can swivel out for balance if you would like. Plant your right heel. Inhale, right fingertips to the sky. Draw your bony hip points up towards your belly button. Absorb the low ribs. And try to keep a long line from the back ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. Turn your top hand to face the front of the room and reach up and overhead. Really lift that top hip to the sky as though there was a rope or string attached, pulling it up. You might feel the muscles in your low waist fire up. And slowly release, right hand back to the mat, right knee. Slightly longer tabletop, same thing other side, gate pose. Left toes tucked under, move back behind you. Plant the left heel. Begin to send your hips forward. Roll your heart to the sky. Lift top hip to the sky. Reach left fingertips to the sky. Turn your top hand to face the front of the room. Reach up and overhead. Really focus on shortening the low waist and lengthening the upper waist. And exhale, release. Left hand and left knee, come back to the mat. Same thing, and repeating, right toes back behind you, find your gate pose. Again, you can use that lowered knee, the left foot, to swing out like a kickstand. I'm gonna leave mine as is for a little more challenge. Reach your right fingertips forward, palm faces down, bicep by ear. Watch this bottom shoulder. Oftentimes it wants to shove forward. Draw it back and think about plugging your upper arm bone into your shoulder socket throughout class today. Good. Now, inhale, float the back foot up in line with the hip, flexed foot, and reach your right fingertips to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward, tap the foot down. Inhale, lift the foot, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, float it up, gaze to the top of the mat. And we're gonna send our right foot to the top right corner of the mat. So you can have a long leg, you can bend the knee in towards your chest. Either way, you're gonna have to move your hips back to make room for the foot to go forward. And plant the foot. Right hand plants inside of the right foot. Back toes tuck under. And lift the back knee, high lunge. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward, reach back through the back heel. Exhale, press the front leg straight or straight-ish. Heart still reaches forward. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straight-ish. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straight-ish. Good. Inhale, come back to your lunge. Plant that back knee. Plant your left hand, right fingertips reach to the sky, open twist. And from here, back to our floating gate pose. So, back toes are tucked under, shift your hips back. Begin to press down into your left hand and reach out through your right fingertips so much that you start to float that front foot. Knee can be bent in towards the chest, or you can float it long and reach it behind you. Exhale, tap the back foot down, reach your right fingertips forward, and make your way back to that lengthened tabletop position. Same thing, second side. Left toes go behind you. Find your gate pose. Right toes can spin out if you'd like. I'm leaving mine squared. Turn your top hand to face the front of the room. Press away through the right hand and maybe even glance. Where's your right shoulder? Plug it into the shoulder socket. Reach your left fingertips forward. Exhale. Inhale, reach your left fingertips to the sky, float the back foot. Exhale, tap it down, reach forward. Inhale, fingertips to the sky, float the left heel. Exhale, tap it down, reach it forward. Inhale, float the foot, reach up, gaze to the top left corner of your mat, and either bend the left knee towards your chest or straight leg, shift your hips back, make room for the foot to come forward. Plant the left foot, left hand inside of left foot. Back toes tucked under, high lunge. Press the back leg up powerfully. Inhale, lengthen forward through the heart and lengthen back through the back heel. Heart keeps reaching forward. Exhale, press the front leg straight or straightish. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straight. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straight. Inhale, lunge, drop your back knee, plant your right hand, press away, reach up through your left fingertips for this wide open twist. Good. Now, begin to shift your hips back so that the weight gets light on that front foot. You can press the leg straight as you shift the hips back, or keep the knee bent, hug it into the chest. Find your floating gate pose. Exhale, plant the back foot, reach those top fingertips forward, and make your way back to this long tabletop position. Tuck your back toes, press away through your palms, lift the low belly, plug those arm bones into your shoulder sockets. Down dog, keep all of that. Hips lift up and back. Pedal out your feet if you need to. And ultimately find stillness in your down dog. Draw your bony hip points up towards your belly button. Absorb the low ribs. Soften your heels towards the earth any amount without losing the length in your back. So if you're rounding your back a lot, bend your knees to keep length in the spine. As your ears soften between your upper arm bones, lift your armpits away from the mat. Inhale, gaze forward, shift forward, high plank. As you exhale, lower to your bellies in one supported piece. You can drop your knees at any point. Plant the tops of the feet, press down so much the knees lift. Lift the front of your shoulders away from the earth, still hugging the shoulders or the arm bones into the shoulder sockets. Inhale, lift your head, lift your heart, press your shoulder blades forward through the chest and float the fingertips. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, press the shoulder blades forward through the heart as though they were weights that were just pressing down and lifting the heart forward, and float the hands. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, float the hands. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, use your knees or don't. Arm bones stay plugged into the shoulder sockets, lift up in one piece. Inhale, down dog, exhale. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat. You can take baby steps, big steps. Keep the hips high. And fold forward. Feet are hip width distance. Bring your weight to the balls of the feet. Lift your bony hip points towards your belly button. Belly is away from the thighs.
Even floating ribs absorb into the back of the body away from the thighs. Crown of the head softens towards the space between your big toes. You can nod your head yes, shake your head no. Good. Now, keep the weight in the base of the big toes. Bend your knees as though sitting back in a chair pose. Sweep the arms forward and up, inhale. Exhale, sweep them back. Stay low in the low half of the body. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, sweep them back. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, sweep them back. Inhale, sweep them up, hold. Imagine you're grabbing monkey bars with your hands and you're sinking your hips away from the monkey bars. Sides of the body will lengthen and arms stay nice and long. Again, imagine that weight of the shoulder blades pressing your heart forward through the upper arms. Press down into your feet, inhale to rise, stand up, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale your palms to your heart. Release your hands to your sides. Take a moment, close your eyes if you would like, and just notice any warmth, any deliciousness that has started to awaken in your body. Good, open your eyes. Root down into your right foot. So much so you lift your right kneecap. Inhale as you reach your arms up, float your left knee in towards your chest. Flex the foot. Bring your palms to meet at your heart. As you exhale, tilt forward and start to send the foot back. You can stay quite upright here. Bend that standing leg. Hug your outer hips in towards one another and keep that back foot active. Good. Inhale, sweep it up, arms up, knee to chest. Exhale, palms to heart center, float the leg back. Inhale, float it up, knee to chest. Last one. Exhale, we're going to float back to a high lunge, palms to heart center. Reach back through the foot. Try to stall the foot, float it back. Plant the back toes. Lift the bony hip points, absorb the low ribs, sweep the arms up. And here, try to roll both thighs or rotate both thighs towards the right. So front thigh turns out, back thigh turns in. Hips are squaring to the top of the mat. And as much as you would like to, begin to soften your pelvis towards the earth. With your next exhale, plant your left hand inside of your right foot. Right fingertips float to the sky. Wide open twist. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, press your front leg straight. Reach your right fingertips forward. Inhale to lunge. Right fingertips reach back up. Exhale, press it straight. Float the fingertips forward. Inhale, reach up, lunge. Exhale, float it forward. Good. Inhale, lunge. Right fingertips can float up or reach forward. You're going to turn your front toes out. Begin to roll to a dragon lunge. So we're flexing both feet, starting to open out the hip. Right fingertips can reach back. Good. With your next inhale, press your hips up. Reach forward to lunge. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, bring it forward. Last one, exhale, dragon lunge. Good. Inhale, reach your fingertips up, lift your hips up. You can stay here in this modified side plank or press down into your left hand, lift your hips up, press down into the back outer edge of the foot so much that you float your front foot up. You can reach it up or step it back. Gaze can go wherever you're comfortable. And slowly release right hand down, roll to both toes. Inhale, gaze forward, lower to your bellies, use knees or don't. Plant the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. Float the hands. Exhale, release. Again, inhale to cobra, float the hands. Exhale to release. Last one, inhale, float cobra and hands. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, use your knees, lift up plank. Exhale, down dog. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Inhale again through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Inhale your gaze forward. Step, walk, or if you want to jump to the top of the mat or float. Boogie your way to the top of the mat, fold forward, feet are hip width distance. Weight in the front, balls of the feet without the heels lifting. Bend your knees generously, roll up to rise, inhale. Reach up, look up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Shift your weight into your left foot. Press down to all four corners of the left foot so much the left kneecap lifts. Inhale, float the arms up and the right knee in towards the chest. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Bend that standing leg as much as you need to as you reach the right foot back. Hug your outer hips in. Inhale, knee to chest, float arms. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Enjoy the wiggles like I have. Float the right foot back. Last one, inhale, reach up. Exhale, float it back to a high lunge. Try to stall. Reach forward through the heart more as you press back through the back lifted heel more. Bend that standing leg to soften down into a high lunge stance. Lift the bony hip points up towards the belly button. Absorb the low ribs. Sweep the arms up. And then here, roll both thighs to the left. So left thigh rolls to the left. Right thigh rolls into the left as well. You'll notice that hip square as that happens. Keep that. And maybe soften your pelvis down towards the earth as you reach back through that back heel. There's still that element of the shoulder blades pressing forward through the chest to send your heart and sternum forward. And with your next exhale, float the right hand down inside the left foot. Reach left fingertips to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, press the front leg straight. Left fingertips reach forward. Inhale, lunge, reach up. Exhale, press it straight. Fingertips reach forward, back leg, stay strong the whole time. Inhale to lunge, reach it up. Exhale, reach it forward, press it straight. Good, come back to that lunge. Again, front fingertips can stay reaching forward, or you can lift them up to the sky here. Left toes turn out to the left for our dragging lunge. Roll to the outer edge of both feet, flex the feet, soften that bottom hip towards the mat, and you can swing your left fingertips back towards the back of the mat as well. You can stay or come into this gentle flow with us. Inhale, reach forward, square forward, lunge forward. Exhale, dragging lunge, sweep it back. Inhale, sweep it forward. Exhale to dragging lunge. Good, stay here. Reach up with your top fingertips. Press your hips to the sky. Option to stay for side plank here, or lift the hip, press away through the mat and through the back edge of the back foot so much that you can float that front foot to stack. Gaze can be wherever it's comfortable for you. Lift your hips higher to the sky as though that rope is attached to the top hip. Another deep inhale. Exhale, plant your left hand, roll to both toes, gaze forward. Exhale, lower to your bellies. Plant the tops of the feet and plant your fingertips outside of your shoulders, wider than your mat. Lift the front tips of the shoulders away from the earth and feel your shoulder blades press into the back of the body. Good. Inhale, lift up, a slightly higher cobra. And from here, stretch your heart forward as the bottom tips of the shoulder blades press into the rib cage to send the heart a little more forward. Exhale to release. 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to release. Try not to throw your head back here. Inhale, lift up. Press the back of your head into an imaginary resistance. Exhale to release. Plant your palms. You can tuck your toes or not. We meet in child's pose. Knees can go as wide or as close together as you would like. Choose whatever variation feels right for you with your arms. I'm going to take a sip of water myself. That is delightful. Wherever your hands are in your child's pose, go ahead and plant your palms or fingertips on either side of your shin bones. Press the earth away to sit up on your heels and shins. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows wide, reach your heart to the sky. Notice how this feels possibly different from the first ones. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows wide. Feel those shoulder blades move around the back and press the heart forward. One more. Inhale, reach up. Lengthen the inner elbows away. Shoulder blades draw down and together. Forward through the heart. And release. Walk your palms into that long tabletop position. Down dog. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, step, float, wobble to the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, lift your gaze as you bend your knees, chair pose. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Exhale, sweep them back. Inhale, sweep them forward. Exhale, sweep them back. Inhale, sweep them forward. Stand up. Lift the left knee to the sky. We've been here before. Exhale through warrior 3. Palms can come to heart center as the left leg moves back. Standing leg can stay bent. Hug the outer hips in. Inhale, sweep it forward. Knee to chest, arms float to sky. Exhale, warrior 3. Last one. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale to warrior 3, floating to our high lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, plant your left hand. Right fingertips float to sky. Inhale. Exhale, press your front leg straight. Reach your right fingertips forward. Inhale, lunge. Right fingertips to sky. Exhale, reach it forward. Press it straight. Inhale, reach it up. This time, dragon lunge. Right toes turn out to the right, roll to the outer edge of the back foot. right fingertips reach to the back of the mat. Good, inhale to lunge. Square everything forward. Exhale, dragon. Inhale to lunge. Exhale to dragon. Option is to stay in a modified side plank as you lift hips to the sky, press down into this front foot and the outer edge of the back foot, or begin to float your right foot up. Knee can stay bent. Good, now gaze to the top of the mat and step your right foot there. Gaze forward and step your left foot to meet your right, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, sweep it forward. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, sweep it forward. Stand up. Lift your right knee towards your chest. Exhale through your warrior three. Outer hips hug in, hips stay square. Inhale, knee to chest, float the fingertips up. Exhale, send it back. Last one, inhale, fingertips float up. Exhale, reach your right foot back, stall it for your high lunge. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, plant your right hand. Inhale, left fingertips reach up. Exhale, press your front leg straight. Left fingertips reach forward. Woo, feeling a little puffed. Inhale to lunge, reach your left fingertips up. Exhale, press it straight, reach forward. Inhale, reach up. Dragon lunge. Roll to the outer edges of both feet. Left toes turn out to the left. Good. Inhale, square it forward, reach forward. Exhale, dragon. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale to dragon. Again, same option to stay or press into the outer edge of the back foot. Lift your hips up, press down into your right palm firmly. Keep the shoulder plugged into the shoulder socket and float your left foot up. Knee can stay bent, like you see me doing. You can stack your feet. Gaze to the top left corner of your mat and step your left foot there. Gaze forward, inhale, step forward, chair pose. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Inhale, sweep them forward. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, sweep it forward. This time, stand up, both feet, reach up. Exhale, palms to your heart. And release your fingertips by your sides. Close your eyes if you would like. And take a moment and notice. What have your reactions been in the midst of any challenge? Have you been able to find a perspective of joy? Maybe laughing with yourself, at yourself, or a sense of whimsy, lightheartedness in this process, maybe even bliss. Gently open your eyes. Inhale, reach up. Sit back, exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Hips back, lengthen the side bodies against holding on to those monkey bars. Take another inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Now, toe heel your feet slightly wider than your hips. It could even be outer hip width distance, or mat width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, bend your knees. Sink your hips to Malasana squat. So options here are to try for crow pose. or to not. We have warmed up shoulders, warmed up wrists. Our bellies are warm. Our hips are nice and lubricated. So feel free to join me if you would like. Even here, I want you to feel your inner knees hugging into these kind of arm flaps, this back flap of your armpit, okay? Where you feel like your shoulder, the back of your shoulder meets your shoulder blade. That's where we ultimately are wanting to squeeze in and find a deep enough compression. If that's not possible for you, you can use your upper arm bones as kind of shelves. But ultimately that ends up meaning that you kind of dump your weight onto your arms. And once we engage our legs to hug in and lift up and out of our arms and shoulders, we create a sense of lightness here, okay? It's almost as though we're using the front of our body to lift into the back of our body, to lift the weight out of our wrists and out of our shoulders, okay? So let's just give it a try. Again, it's not going to be perfect the first time, and actually, it's never perfect. There's always room for growth. I've not been practicing a lot of arm balances myself lately, so let's see where I'm at today too. So here, I want you to plant your palms. Again, like I said, be mindful. Pointer fingers are pointing forward, maybe middle fingers. Just check your wrist creases. Lift up onto the balls of the feet and pull your upper arm bones into your knees and squeeze your knees in towards your heart or your belly button or your chest. Gaze forward. Don't look at your feet. Gaze forward so that your center of gravity and balance is floating forward over the room as you maybe float one foot or the other. But no matter what, try not to just dump your weight down. Squeeze in and lift out. And maybe come on out. Take a rest. You can flip the palms to the sky, backs of the hands can rest on your mat. Maybe it feels good to interlace your fingers and roll your wrists out a little bit. Do some of these and some of these, okay? Whatever feels nice to release. Sometimes even shaking it out feels really good. And let's try this again. And here you have the option, if you are a crow person, let's hop back into chaturanga. But no matter what you're doing, I want you to meet us back in down dog. So these next few moments are an opportunity for you to take your practice where you need. Maybe you need child's pose. Maybe you need another sip of water or your first one. So crow, plant your palms. Gaze at those wrist creases. Make sure they're parallel or even slightly turned out. Lift up to the balls of the feet. Drag and pull your arms into your inner knees and squeeze your inner knees onto those back flaps or even onto the outer triceps. Gaze forward, float forward, press the earth down and away, float one or both feet. Take an inhale. If you want to float back to chaturanga, stretch your heart forward, keep your arm bones plugged into your shoulder sockets. Exhale, float back. Lower to your bellies. Inhale, lift your heart. Cobra. Exhale to release. We all meet in down dog. And we're here for several breaths. All right. We're going to try a little of the same, but in a different order and with some new stuff too. So gaze back at your feet, step your big toes together at the back of the mat. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot, side plank, right fingertips float to the sky. Stay or bend your right knee up towards towards the ceiling. For wild thing, plant your right toes behind your left leg, press your hips to the sky, stretch your heart to the sky. Now, bring your gaze to the top right corner of your mat. Float your right knee up to the sky and begin to step your right foot there. Inhale to reach up. Bend your elbows, lift your heart. Good. From here, reach straight up, inhale. Exhale, plant your right hand. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, reach forward, press your front leg straight. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, press it straight, reach forward. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, reach it forward, press straight. Inhale, reach up, and get ready for your dragon lunge. So roll to the outer edge of both feet. Sink that back hip. Good. Inhale, square it forward, reach forward. Exhale, dragon. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, dragon. Good. Now, opportunity for another wild thing. Inhale, lift up through your right fingertips, that top hip. Stay or float your right foot up and back. Wild thing. Shift your hips to the sky. Press down through both feet. Press down through your left hand. Good. Gaze forward. And come back to down dog. Step your feet together at the back of the mat, big toes touch. Inhale, shift forward, and roll to the outer edge of your right foot, side plank. Option to stay, or lift your left knee to the sky. And wild thing, plant your left toes behind the right leg, press your hips up, lift your heart. Inhale your gaze to the top of the mat. Begin to float your left knee up and step it forward. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, bend your elbows. Lift your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant your right hand. And inhale here. Exhale, left fingertips reach forward, press your left leg straight. Excuse me. Inhale, lunge, reach your left fingertips up. Exhale, press it straight, reach forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press it straight. This time, inhale, reach up. And adjust your feet for your dragon lunge as you exhale. Inhale to lunge, square it forward. Exhale, dragon. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, dragon. Again, option to stay here or wild thing. Second time, lift your hips to the sky, press away through your right hand, float your left foot up and back. Lift your hips to the sky. And make your way back to down dog. Inhale deeply through your nose. Open mouth sigh. And again, inhale deeply. Open mouth sigh. Inhale your gaze forward. Look outside of the pinky edge side of your hands. That's where you're going to land your feet. So option for crow, again. Inhale, lift up onto your toes. Exhale, float your feet outside of your hands. So stay here, enjoy your Malasana squat. We're gonna option for crow just to practice once. And then we're gonna use it to add to the beginning of the flow that we started off with in class, where we're floating our knee up and transitioning through warrior three to our high lunge. We're just gonna do this one more time on each side, and then we're gonna cool it down and make our way to our backs. Because I don't know if you can hear me, but I am puffed, and practicing at 5,000 feet elevation is not something I'm used to. It's really hard, you guys. So get ready for your practice crow. And you're gonna have time if you wanna try to hop back and make your way back forward. Go ahead and take your time to do that. Or just practice your crow. Plant palms, check the alignment of your wrists. Lift up onto the balls of the feet. Hug your upper arm bones into your shins and knees. Squeeze your inner knees on your arms, gaze forward, float the feet. Press the earth away. You can point the feet, flex the feet, whatever feels right for you. And go ahead and land or meet back in this Malasana squat if you chose to jump back. And then jump back forward, feet wide. So how this is gonna go. We're gonna float into our crow, or if you're not floating, all you're gonna do is follow us at the end of the crow, okay? So work with me here. Let's just try it together. Of course, it's gonna be imperfect because it always is. Plant your palms. Come up to the balls of the feet. Find your crow, or even practice crow. If you're not lifting both feet, actually just lift your right foot. Good. Now, everybody, land your right foot behind your right wrist, or your right thumb. Stand up, float your left knee to the sky. Lift your fingertips to the sky, inhale. Exhale, warrior three. You can sweep the arms back or keep them at heart center. Take another round of breath here. And with your next exhale, float the foot back. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high lunge. Exhale, plant your left hand. Inhale, right fingertips to the sky. Exhale, press it straight, reach forward. We're just gonna do one of these. Inhale, reach it up. Dragon lunge, exhale. Inhale, bring it forward just once. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, stay here for modified side plank, lift the hips, or also float the foot for wild thing. Lift your hips, lift your heart, gaze behind you. Good, now, inhale your gaze to the top of your mat and float your right foot to the top of the mat. Make sure it's nice and wide, preparing for our Malasana squat. Plant both hands and step your left foot outside of your left pinky finger. Sink your hips. Good. Crow another time. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit. So, whether you're trying or not, again, left foot will plant this time as right knee lifts to chest as we stand. Plant your palms, check those wrists. Inhale, lift up, upper arm bones back, knees squeeze in, shift forward. Float one or both feet. Slowly land your left foot behind your left wrist and thumb. Inhale, right knee to chest, lift up. Exhale, transition through your warrior three. Arms in any variation. Stay for another inhale. Exhale, float the foot back. Inhale, reach up, high lunge. Exhale, softly land right hand inside of left foot. Inhale, left fingertips stretch to the sky. Exhale, press your front leg straight, reach forward. Inhale, reach up, lunge. Dragon squat, exhale, toes turn out to the left, roll to the outer edge of both feet. Inhale, lift up into modified side plank, full side plank, or wild thing. Inhale your gaze to the top of the mat and float your left foot there. Land both hands, Malasana squat. Bring your palms to meet at your heart. So now you have the option as to how you would like to meet in down dog. If you would like another chance at crow and maybe even floating back to chaturanga, feel free. If you are floating back to chaturanga, remember those shoulders. Keep stretching the heart forward and hugging the shoulders back and into, or your arm bones back and into your shoulder sockets. Oftentimes, we really dump forward into the shoulders and it really stresses out these very hypermobile joints. So again, strong action of plugging them back and in and stretching the heart forward as you jump back. Okay? So let's go for it if you haven't already. However it is that you are meeting in down dog. Again, if you're jumping back, flex your feet. The bottom of your exhale. Float on back. Slowly lower to your belly. Inhale, lift your heart. And however you'd like to get to down dog. Inhale your gaze forward and lift your left or your right heel to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot towards your right thumb. And drop your back knee. If you want to pad with a blanket, feel free. Come up onto fingertips to start. I like both hands inside of my front foot. Inhale, stretch the heart forward. Exhale, press the front leg straight or straightish. Inhale, stretch it forward. Exhale, press it straightish. Good, inhale, stretch it forward. Plant your left hand and right hand on top of your right thigh. Press forward and down to spiral the heart and lift it to the sky. Option to stay here, really using your butt muscles and that action of curling your sit bones underneath you and pressing your pelvis forward to open up that left front hip and to compress this right hip. Or squeeze your left heel towards your butt and bind. Reach back for the pinky edge side of your left foot. Press back into your hands so much that right shoulder rolls open and you find this nice opening in the front of the chest. Even as you draw the foot in towards your butt. So you can do both at the same time. Stay or float your left forearm to the ground. Use your belly muscles to make it a soft landing. Try not to flop. And even here, stretch your heart forward and press the back of your head into an imaginary resistance. And if you've captured that back foot, slowly let it go. Plant your fingertips inside of that right foot. And go ahead and shift your hips back to find your half splits. I prefer to frame the front foot, but if you're staying in half splits, sometimes it's a lot easier to find space for the belly to move forward. and create more space in the back of the leg if you're not just resting on top of the thigh. So if you're staying here and have splits, feel free. If you'd like to start to wiggle your front heel forward into some version of your full splits, feel free. No matter what, front foot is staying flexed, back toes stay tucked under. So this idea of flexing our toes back towards our face in the front, pressing our thigh bone down, really helps to create that squaring of the hips. And these back toes tucked under continue to press forward and down to wrap our outer left hip forward. So keep repeating those actions. And then you can keep softening your way into some form of splits. Heart is still stretching up towards the chin. Arm bones are still plugging back and into the shoulder sockets, no matter what shape your body is making. And there should be a lot of muscular engagement here, especially if you're mobile, especially if you can just flop into splits. I want you to really use this front thigh muscle to press down actively as you soften the pelvis towards the earth. I want you to use your left butt cheek to really help send the front of that hip forward. Good. And however you would like, we're going to find our way to down dog. So plant your palms or fingertips with the back toes tucked. Press down until you lift the back knee and drag the front foot back. Make your way back to down dog. As you can see, I need to readjust my mat. It's okay. And same thing, second side. Gaze towards that left thumb. Inhale your left heel to the sky. Exhale, step it forward. Again, drop your right knee. And I like both hands or fingertips, rather, inside of the front foot. Choose what works for you. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward, arm bones plug back and down. Exhale, press it straightish. Front toes flex to the sky. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straight. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straight. Good, this time inhale, shift forward to your lunge, plant your right hand, left hand on top of the left thigh. And again, right butt cheek is really pressing down and forward to extend this hip powerfully and with support. Keep that. Press forward and down through that left hand on the thigh to spiral the heart to the sky. Stay here, or right heel squeezes towards your butt as the left hand reaches back and captures the pinky edge side of the foot. Find that push-pull resistance that really opens you out across the left side of your chest. And you can keep that and just bend the elbow to draw your heel closer to your butt. So stay here, or again, use the lift of the low belly muscles to help float you softly onto your right forearm. Heart reaches forward, ears draw back. And can you take a moment and notice how you feel here? Maybe if there's a sense of ease and softening. Maybe if there's some lingering challenge and maybe frustration associated, can you shift to joy, bliss, laughter, whimsy? Very slowly release that back foot if you have captured it. Plant your fingertips. Lift up your head and your heart. Shift back. Find your half splits first. Feel what works for you as heart reaches forward, arm bones roll back. Do hands stay inside of your leg? Do they move outside of it? Or to frame it, rather. Left toes are flexing powerfully back towards your face. And you can again start to wiggle the heel forward. Back toes stay tucked under to again help with this squaring. So there's a lot of action and engagement in the body here, especially if you are mobile. And even if you are not, use those thigh muscles really pressing down and helping to hold you, and these butt muscles really sending the front of the right hip forward to find supported flexibility. Make your way into whatever variation of splits you and your body are happy with today. Heart is still stretching forward through the chin, through the crown of the head. Arm bones are still hugging into the shoulder sockets. Good. Now, however you would like to make your way into down dog, I'm going to plant my fingertips on either side of my leg with my back toes tucked, really lift up my knee, create space for my front foot to drag back into a down dog. And with your next inhale, gaze forward. Start to shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower your knees to the mat. Sweep your feet out from underneath you. Come back to a seat. All right, we're gonna do double pigeon or Agni Sambhasana or fire log pose to finish up today before we make our way into Shavasana. So there are options here. I'll actually turn to face you for this. So lots of options here, and especially if you are tight in your hips, and even sitting here in more of a crisscross applesauce or an easy pose, you find that your knees are lifted up high. You might take cushions or blankets, or maybe even a block to help give those legs something to rest on so your groin isn't working so hard to protect the outer hips from overworking, or rather overstretching, okay? So this might be where you're at today. That's fine. Lower body is going to vary. Even the shape of the upper body might vary, but the actions I want you to do are going to be the same. So this is level in layer one. You might start to bring your left shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. You won't see that here because my mat's a little cockeyed. And you want to start to stack your right ankle on top of your left knee and right knee on top of the bottom ankle. Okay, so if you're even still lifted way up here, wonderful, just grab some support. So that, again, we're not having to stress other muscles. Here, we're actually going to do more of a sort of restorative or yin type of approach where we aren't engaging the muscles as powerfully or at all if we can help it. If you can stack, wonderful. Go ahead and make your way there. And as much as possible, I want you to try to shift forward onto the front of those sit bones, right? So you can shift side to side, however it is that you are sitting. Once you found that comfortable position, reach out through the base of your big toes. So you can see that action. So the pinky edge side of my feet aren't reaching out and I'm kind of rolling the soles of my feet up towards the sky or my face. I'm actually reversing that. I'm turning the soles of my feet to face out by reaching out through the big toenails. Keep that. Place your fingertips wherever they're placing it. Wherever you're placing them, maybe it's just up here so that you can find that nice lengthening of the breastbone through the chin and the crown of the head, and the arm bones plugging back and down into the shoulder sockets. Maybe you can plant your fingertips and start to walk forward without losing any of that connection with the front of the sit bones to the earth, without starting to round and kind of collapse everything forward. Maybe you can even lower onto your forearm. Palms can touch if you would like, or you can act like you're grabbing a block here. But if you are here, I find it really nice to, just like we did in crow pose, to pull my upper arm bones into my shins and even press my shins back into my upper arm bones. And notice how that gentle engagement kind of creates even more of a sensation of opening. And then you can kind of let that go after a couple of breaths and see if you soften a little more deeply or relax more fully across your hips. You can try the engagement of drawing back with the arm bones and pressing forward into the arms with the shins as many times as feels useful. We're here for about 3 more breaths. And good, no matter where you are, begin to come out mindfully and slowly, no sudden movements. If you can't do it with just using the muscles of the legs, really help yourself to uncross. It's okay. Help is a wonderful thing to have access to and to ask for or allow permission for. I like to roll my legs in and out in between just to kind of let go of any stickiness or gripping or clenching that I wasn't aware of. Let's make our way into the other side. So outer edge of the right foot and shin, come down again, or you're crossing the opposite leg in front if you're in an easy pose, right? No matter what shape your body was making, just bring the opposite leg in front or the opposite leg on top. Okay. And notice that they might be different. I'm more open on this side personally. If you can see, my top knee is already down. It's the wonder of the body. It's imbalanced. It is uneven. And it's okay. It's beautifully and perfectly imperfect. So use whatever props that you need to help make this side accessible to you. Acknowledge the difference between both sides so that maybe you realize that you can create a different shape this time than you did before. Maybe that you kind of back off a little bit, or maybe you lean in a little bit. Again, whatever feels right for you today. So remember those big toe mounds, stretch them in opposite directions away from one another. You might even feel some activation across your outer hip just doing that. Wonderful if you do. If you don't, wonderful. And then plant fingertips on that top shin or calf. If this is where you're finding that length, make sure you're sitting forward of those sit bones again. And then here, if this is where you find length, is in this really upright position, wonderful. Or maybe fingertips start to walk in front of the shins, any amount, move nice and slowly. Acknowledge where your edge is here. If you would like to find that variation with forearms planted and upper arms kind of pressing into the resistance of your shins, pressing forward, you can play with that as well. Notice whatever sensations are coming up for you and where they're coming up for you. Oddly enough, I'm more open on this side in a certain way, but I feel a lot more sensation across this top leg's outer hip. So, the wonders of the body. Allow it to speak to you and inform the rest of your day. And with your next breath, slowly begin to make your way out. And mindfully, gently help that top leg move off of the bottom if you need to. If you'd like to stretch your legs out in front of you and find that gentle rocking in and out, feel free. And go ahead and roll onto your backs. Any last movements that you feel you need before Shavasana, feel free. I feel quite complete. We've done a lot today. And I feel ready to lie back and allow this practice to die away, the physical effort to cease. If you would like a child's pose or a happy baby or a twist or anything, take it. As you come into your Shavasana, take these final moments of effort to get yourself comfortable to lie here as long as you need. Shoulder blades are underneath you and down your back so that your arm bones, those shoulders, can roll back and down with the help of gravity. Allow your eyes to sink away from your eyelids. The tongue relaxes away from the roof of the mouth. Soften your throat. Allow your heart to settle deeply into the back of your body. Allow the same in your belly. Soften your groin, your kneecaps, and your ankles. And without losing the connection to yourself, soften away any effort that remains. Feel free to stay here as long as you need. Namaste.